Hello and welcome to Cosmoteer. This is a little indie game. It was developed basically by a graphics designer, and he decided to make a game out of it. And the purpose of it is to actually make your own ship. You design and you command your own ship. I'm just going to do a little short review on this thing. I don't want to call it a review. I'm just going to go a little gameplay wise and stuff. So let's just start you a new game in here. Now, you have a couple options in what to do. One is Bounty Hunter, which is basically the main game, and it also tells you how to learn how to play. And then there's Creator Mode, where this one allows you to have infinite amount of cash and create any size of vehicle with any type of equipment on it. I should say vehicle, well, technically it's a vehicle. Spaceship. Now, the models they give you in the basic Bounty Hunter, this is what they standardly gave you, but now with the new update, they allow you to change up to different designs. Each one has its own quirks to them. For example, the Model C has cannons instead of energy weapons. They fire basically matter weapons. And then the Model S is fast, maneuverable, but it will be breaking apart in an instant. And the Model L is just your basic design. It's very standard. This one I have to say it might be pretty slow. Also in this game it takes a lot into account of the physics engine, where objects will constantly move in the position they're going at unless it's slowed down by other force. So it takes into, I guess, friction laws, but it's in space, so there's really no friction. Small bits in certain areas, gravity pulls, whatever, you guys can argue, but I'm not. So we're going to go, what I'm going to do is going to go load a custom ship. I've been playing this for a little bit, and I've made a couple weird ones here. Don't look at the spelling, I'm horrible at that. But yeah, some of them can get pretty cool and big. And this is all, most of these are all from that very basic first ship, the L class. And I just eventually evolved them into weird things. I mean, like, take a look at this one, the Voodoo. It looks like a giant mask. I never intended to design it that way. Never. But it just happened to end up that way. It's weird, it's cool, and it works. Which is the really funky thing about it. Alright, so we're going to go with the Bug. I like this little guy. I designed him for a very... I've designed him from the the XA wing. That's supposed to be like a variant of the A-wing bomber from Star Wars. It just happened to look like it, so I just named it that. But yeah, we'll just purchase the ship, and that leaves us with 23 to mess around with it when we have it in. So let's start a new game and have a little fun. Now, I already did the tutorial, so I really don't want to bother going through it. Now, as you can see, you guys start with a ship, and you even have little guys that move around and do things. And as you can see, there's a grid on it already, and you can move things around by right-clicking on positions. And if you want, you can hold it down and readjust by holding down, and whoop, look at your ship. Such physics on it. You can have this thing spin around like this. Vroom. And so that's what you need, the side thrusters on these things and the forward thrusters. Because if you go forward, you got that full thrust. Look how quick that thing goes. And then it slows down, but it takes forever because it only has two in the front. So when you're designing a ship, you have to take into account that you need some controls on it. And obviously, some weapons. Because the whole point of this is to blow up the other ships. Now then, let's add on a couple extra. As good as this ship is, it takes a bit to take out another opponent. So I'm going to add on an extra set of lasers onto here. Even though they're not really lasers, they're more like photon blasters of some kind. I don't know. And we're just going to let's see here, set it in here or set it up here. Set it back here. Keep the circular feeling of it set. That should be more than enough. But now we need more crew. because each one of the weapons requires a crew member to man them. So we need to have an extra crew. Now we only have 23,000 to work with, and to place both of these would cost us apparently 10,000. Let's see here. You can see the testing and from here, and totally takes 14 because we got rid of the side thrusters. That adds and takes away cash. It takes into account whatever you place on it. So we can just move this around if you want to. Maybe put it here instead. That might work. You want to keep some hallways because it will allow them to move faster. Your NPC or crew, I guess. I can't really call them NPCs. It's sort of, yeah, none. They're more like lemmings. They'll do whatever they're told to do, and they'll do it. Okay, so because I got rid of a couple thrusters, I need to replace those, especially the side controls. Now, probably the best ones to use at the moment would be these smaller ones. These are primarily used for maneuvering, so it's not a bad idea. And considering what we have available, that's more than adequate. You got your reactor, we got your extra crew group, and to purchase the crew, even though it costs only 500 for the quarters, it's going to cost an extra 1,000 per crew member. So that's what makes up the extra, was it 12,000? Yeah. And that gives us way more than enough crew, and it's just a matter of amount of energy in the reactor to be able to fill these, as you'll see in a second here. We'll make it so. And as you can see, crew members pull out energy cores or batteries, whatever you want to call it, and they place into the individual parts. When we're in battle, they get consumed from here, and then they had to be replaced by eventually from the other crew members. They got to run to the core and pop them out. And here's where I can see a design flaw. There's no exit on here, so they can't come out and come straight into it. They have to come into the crew quarters, which will actually slow them down. By walking through the crew quarters, it'll slow down the NPCs instantly. I was just call them NPCs. NPC crew is both technically the same. Alright, let's have a looky here. Alright, so here, doors. Doors have their own individual one. It's not necessarily we need one up top, and as always, these things cost you some amounts. Now, doors, I could place them on all of this if I wanted to, but there's a reason you don't do that, is because there can be fires on board, and the fires can easily pass through doors. So the less doors you have, the less likelihood the fires will pass through. And so it's an up and down. It's you can gain stuff, lose problems and stuff. Yeah, it's all over. But as you can guess, you can't. Oh, we're right. You can go out on these. These parts here. Your guys can go out here because they actually have like spacesuits on all the time. And then actually, what you can do is build these grates out and then have a secondary part, which I might do. Only problem is that it's weak as heck, and it can be easily destroyed. The only advantage is that sometimes, most often actually I've noticed, is that most weapons will actually pass right over them, like they're not even there. But it will eventually hit them. I can guarantee you that. Alright, that's with the change with the battery or the reactor room. Now, this one allows you to toggle interiors on and off, so you can see the top part. As you can tell, this was made from the XA wing, and so there's still this decals stuck on top of them. So I can remove these. Let's see here, boop, 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 and it'll help clean it up a bit. But it's not really much of a point to, other than some weird aesthetic design change. Yeah, don't really care. Not to mention that when you're in this, you're like, which one would you rather be? Being able to see where your guys are exactly and see all the damage, or above? I mean, like, both are good in a way, but it can be bad. Now I can see another little. No, I think that should be fine. I was thinking I didn't have enough armament, but this part here is armor, and that's usually where you get hit the most. other than any other forward compartments or any place where it can be struck. So armor is usually a good piece to have when you're first starting out. Even afterwards, even when you get shields, you're going to want that armor. Because when your shields go down, all what's left is your armor. Now what I did here was right-clicked and selected a target on the mini-map, which I'm not sure if can be changed. Nope. But you can select certain parts of the map. And just to go back to your ship, you just click on it. Pausing is done by the space key by many of them. And oh, here we go. We got engaged. Oh, it's coming in hard. You can specifically target his weapon systems. And now he's disabled, at least weapon-wise. Oh, we just destroyed his controls. And now he's spinning out of control. This is what I'm talking about, the physics. The reason why it's spinning in that way is because it was knocked in that position. Oh, man. They just annihilated. Oh, my goodness. There's nothing left. Usually you just go for the core, and once you destroy the core, you usually destroy the ship, because destroying the core causes one heck of an explosion. Now, let's see what time of damage we've taken. I have set us for the next course, and we can repair along the way. We can, actually, if we switch here, we can see the amount of damage. We got hit a little bit here, a couple scratches, and the armor, see, held it off. So let's repair that. And as you can notice, because I had two extra guns than the other guy, I was able to overwhelm him with firepower. And we'll target his weapon systems. Whoa, came in. Whoa, we're kissing him right in the face. Pausing, backing up. Let's change. Okay, let's hold and shift our position. Where's our weapon system range? Oh, that's fine enough. Back it up a bit. Oh, I think we're stuck on him. Oh, we were stuck on him. I've never seen that happen before. We're targeting them. Oh, there. See? That's what I was talking about. You hit the core and boom, the whole thing goes. You can even listen to that. You can hear the fire burning on that ship. That's how much detail this guy put into it. And it's just a simple, like, you can play this on like an iPad, like level of this. Like, this is how much data, how simplistic this is. I'm not saying that it's like as crappy as like some of those games, but this is a very simplistic and easy. It's just so simple, but yet it's complex. If you looked at it, when we go to the I'll hit the pause button so we don't engage. When you go into here into the not the repair but the build system, this is the build system. You just go through these listings of where we have the things here. We got ammo factory for the ammo for the, you can put cannons on. We got a big ass ion beam, which don't think it's a real ion beam. That's more like a real laser. And then we got missile launchers, and that's it. That's really it. You got miscellaneous. You got a sensor which increases the radius of your mini map, which you can see actual visually, so you can see them before they see you. You got your power systems. One's a storage for all the batteries. The other one's the reactor. And then you got the flight, which is the different types of engines. You got your FTL drive, which you'll need to purchase on the very first go. Because once you're done killing all these guys, you got to get out of the system, and the only way to do it is to purchase that. So hold off on those designs until you get a hold of that thing. So save your money. And then you got a couple of nice designs, which these things alone change up the gameplay, because you're designing a ship that you're enjoying having time to look at, because it's your design, and this is what makes it really fun. Now let's put a little boop. He looks funny. Oops. Boop. Yeah, simple as that. Now he looks a little bit more, I don't know, cooler. That term is like, that all depends on people. Uh-oh. Cool is like beauty. To each his own. This guy now, this one here has two guns, and if you notice, they're protected by armor. So when he comes head on towards us, this guy is heavily armored. So to take this guy out, it's best to try to disable what you can. Oops. Let's click on here. And we're running, dashing in towards him. Double fire, boom, boom. See, look at that. I'm barely even scratching him because of all the armor. Although he's not firing back. Not sure why. And boom, destroyed his one weapon. All what's left is the second one. If that goes, he's defenseless. Boom. Okay, that's it. Basically, that's win. Now we target a reactor, and he will try to do something. I don't know what. Well, if we destroy his cockpit, he'll lose complete control, and it will just be able to maneuver itself. And again, there you see the physics. It's pushing it on a different level, and here it's going to slow down a bit because it's pushing the opposite direction. Oh, now it's spinning up again. Okay, this is getting a little annoying. Let's get a little closer. Boom! There we go. I also forgot that you can also speed the game up and down. I didn't bother showing that because everything was going pretty quickly. You can go all the way down to 1/4 the normal speed, which is pretty slow. If you want to see a nice, cool space battle, but what you can comprehend, go down to half speed and you'll have an entertaining fight. And for one last show, I will show you the FTL drive. Could show you the shielding as well. Might as well. What's that here? Boop. Put that in the front, and that's where the shields will be. Just a small little like cone that will protect you. Now let's see here. FTL drive. Boom. Plug it in there. Make it so. And well, let's get the shield up. 3, 4, 5, 6. So now anything that comes in here will hit the shield. So that thing will give you an extra amount of protection for a limited amount of time, depending on how much each shot, I believe, will drain away a battery. And then so as long as you have enough people moving energy cores towards the energy shield generator, it'll never go down. The only time it can possibly go down, if that was the case, is if they had an ion weapon, which would disable the shield's generator itself. Now then, let's go out of this star system and let's go to another one. Oh wait, no, we're going to a different planet. We can go to a different star system, but why not? Yeah, let's do a jump. It's only cost us 11 FTL drive fuel, and I have no idea how that's different than the energy cores, considering that you're using energy cores to load into the FTL drive. Oh, it's ready. Boop. And that's its loading screen. I'd say that's a pretty sweet loading screen. And there we go. You're in another part of the universe, and let's take a look back out there again. This is only one solar system, and that's planets. There's the other solar systems. And this is a small version of it. The bigger it is, the harder it is for it to load, obviously. So there's limits, and there's a limit to how much, because of the limited number of materials you can upgrade your ship with, you can't really progress too far into the game without being right up to the maximum limit of what you can do. Because even if you make an awesome, really big, gigantic ship design, possibility that it can be taken down if you don't use the proper tactics. That's another key element. But yeah, I just wanted to show off this little game. I haven't done anything for a while, and I've been getting bored on my mind, oddly enough, playing RimWorld, which I am going to be recording, and I want to get a couple videos of that up. I'm not going to care what they are, I'm just going to do it. Oh, and there's two unknown... Oh, this could be bad. Well, let's get ourselves killed. Oh my gosh, he's a big ship. It's a big ship, and he has big guns. He has very big guns. And I'm coming in too hard. Oh my god! Ah! Ow! That's the end of the ship. Oh, the little bug. The little bug got squashed. And that's how it ends. The only choice now is to buy a new ship. That is the only way you can get a new ship. if you get out of combat. Which, if these guys ever stop chasing my remains, you'll be able to. But currently, I have no idea if you can. Ah, self-destruct. Boom. There we go. And now let's see here. We can purchase another ship. Yeah, there we go. This is when you can go back in and purchase things. But because I have no money, I can't purchase anything, and that's game over. There is no real game over. You can't purchase any ships because there's really no way for the game to actually know that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little quick review, and I hope I'll be making more videos for you. I'll be entertaining for anybody out there. This is Eno, and see you next time. Bye.